Hey there, friends. Quick warning. This video is going to hurt some feelings. This video is going to piss some people off. My goal is that that's exactly what it does. Because the people whose feelings get hurt and the people who are pissed off at me because of what I have to say in this video can kiss my... You guys have heard about the situation where the illegal alien from Haiti in Springfield, Ohio, killed an 11-year-old boy last year. You've also heard Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and some other politicians talk about that. They're not exploiting anything, they're bringing it to light. When you talk about the negative things that one particular party is allowing to happen, it's silly and stupid not to use actual examples. And just like people use personal stories to make their point, this certainly makes the point whenever you use anecdotal type stories that actually happen to prove the point. The point in using the story of this young man, Aiden, being killed by an illegal alien is to drive the point home that the border is wide open, right? That's the whole point. It's not to exploit it, it's to make it more personal so people on the fence will understand this could happen to you. Doesn't that sound reasonable? That sounds like you're not politicizing it to me. It sounds like you're humanizing it to me. This video that I'm about to show you is of the piece of crap, garbage, grave dancing, money grabbing, Democrat far left, wacko, nut job, idiotic, politicizing fools who are the parents of the 11-year-old boy who was killed by the illegal Haitian alien.
We felt it would be in our best interest to be here after recent comments. You know, I wish that my son, Aiden Clark, was killed by a 60-year-old white man. I bet you never thought anyone would ever say something so blunt. But if that guy killed my 11-year-old son, the incessant group of hate-spewing people would leave us alone. The last thing that we need is to have the worst day of our lives violently and constantly shoved in our faces. But even that's not good enough for them. They take it one step further. They make it seem as though our wonderful Aiden appreciates your hate, that we should follow their hate. And look what you've done to us. We have to get up here and beg them to stop. Using Aiden as a political tool is, to say the least, reprehensible for any political purpose. And speaking of morally bankrupt, politicians, Bernie Moreno, Chip Roy, J.D. Vance, and Donald Trump, they have spoken my son's name and used his death for political gain. This needs to stop now. They can vomit all the hate they want about illegal immigrants, the border crisis, and even untrue claims about fluffy pets being ravaged and eaten by community members. However, they are not allowed, nor have they ever been allowed to mention Aiden Clark from Springfield, Ohio. I will listen to them one more time to hear their apologies. To clear the air, my son, Aiden Clark, was not murdered. He was accidentally killed by an immigrant from Haiti. This tragedy is felt all over this community, the state, and even the nation. But don't spin this towards hate. In order to live like Aiden, you need to accept everyone, choose to shine, make the difference, lead the way, and be the inspiration. What many people in this community and state and nation are doing is the opposite of what you should be doing. Sure, we have our problems here in Springfield and in the U.S., but does Aiden Clark have anything to do with that?
Have you ever seen a more disgusting display of white guilt by a pudgy, pasty, whiny, group-thinking, smooth-brain candy ass like this guy right here? I don't know that I've ever seen a display of that. The guy, no doubt, has a hate and disdain for all Republicans. This guy clearly, I don't need to see his voting record. I don't need to see who he's registered to vote for. It doesn't matter. I know who he votes for. You know who he votes for. This guy is a through and through, dyed-in-the-wool Democrat. Unapologetic. The guy can't even rationally think at this point of what is the right and wrong thing to say in a situation like this, because he is so politically motivated. White guilt. I wish my son was killed by a 60-year-old white man. I bet you didn't think anyone would ever say something so blunt. I never thought anybody would say anything so stupid. That is one of the stupidest things that I've ever heard a, quote, grieving parent say about their child. How sick, twisted, and disgusting is that? Instead of saying, I wish my son had never been killed, this guy comes out in his first statement, I wish my son had been killed by a 60-year-old white man. You tell me that we're politicizing it? Come on, boy. Come on. This is disgusting. You can't even see that. You have been goaded into saying something so stupid and politically driven by your homies, and the people around the water cooler at work have convinced you, yeah, man, you ought to do that. You're listening to people talk you into saying some of the stupidest stuff in the world. And guess who's laughing? Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Barack Obama. All the people on that side. You know why? Because they know that their wide open border is the reason why your son was killed. They know this. They know it. They're not going to make billboards about it and admit this. But within their own circle, they're all like, oh. One of our people killed an 11-year-old boy. Oh, crap. And then this idiot comes out and blames Donald Trump. They hate people. You know what they hate? They hate illegal aliens coming into this country and killing innocent 11-year-old Americans. It's not hate. It's freaking love of country. We love our country so much that we don't want to see it overrun with illegal aliens who are breaking the law. You are doing nothing but fighting the fight for Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, and Joe Biden by doing this. You've let them off the hook. The people directly responsible for your son's death are laughing their asses off at you right now because they don't have to lift a finger. They're like, this guy's stupid. When he mentions Aiden appreciating hate, this is an implication, right? This is what pisses me off about some of these left-leaning wackos. They automatically assume we are driven by hate. Again, it's love of country. You can't sit here and just say, because you're upset that somebody used your son as an example to talk about illegal immigration. You can't sit here and use the word hate and just assume that, make that wild assumption. It's got nothing to do with hate. There ain't a person out there who has uttered your son's name who has any hate in their heart. I don't hate the people coming into this country illegally. If they want to come legally, bring it on. I'm cool with that. But I'm expected to follow the laws. Honest, law-abiding Americans are beaten up on a daily basis as a result of laws. Do you know why a lot of these people in Springfield, Ohio are pissed off? Let's not even talk about the animals right now. It's because Haitians do not know how to drive. They are wrecking vehicles left and right in that city, and they know darn well that the slightest little fender bender that they get into, they're going to have problems. Their insurance will drop them. They'll get tickets. They'll get thrown in jail. These people are let off. Most of these people don't even have valid driver's licenses. And the law enforcement look at them and go, oh, no driver's license, sorry. The worst thing they have happen to them, they have a beat up car now. You don't think they're going to drive those on the street too? These people have no consequences. But the honest, law-abiding Americans are the ones who will pay the price because they simply bend a blade of grass with their vehicle, and they're going to get a ticket for that. Your little milquetoast candy-ass boy also said, quote, using Aiden as a political tool is reprehensible. He talks about these people being morally bankrupt. You know what's reprehensible and morally bankrupt? A father who has lost his child as a result of illegal aliens coming into this country illegally and you are so blind to your political party that you call these people out and say that they're doing it for political reasons when you, in fact, are doing it way worse morally as a result of standing here with your tiptoes with your little short fat butt on top of your son's grave, screaming at the top of your lungs, "Look at me, look at me, look at me." You're doing this for political reasons. And then call out the other political party who's doing nothing except talking about illegal immigration. They were using, again, an anecdotal story because some people, like yourself, are too stupid to relate to an issue without it becoming a personal story that they can somehow relate to. When he says this needs to stop now and that they are not allowed to mention Aiden Clark, let me tell you something, boy. Anytime I feel the need to talk about illegal aliens coming into this country from this day forward, I will use your example, your son's example of being killed by an illegal alien, just because you think you can suppress people from using the First Amendment to protect our country. I will say his name every single time from now on. Now, those of you that are upset right now, some of you are hitting the unsubscribe button right now. Bye. Bye. My love for country is a lot stronger than my hate for other people. And if you get it mixed up and you think that I'm driven by hate and not for love of country, this is not the place for you to be watching. I'm never going to make a video that will satisfy you, because this feeling in me, no matter how much hate you put in my comment section down below, this love of my country will always be here. Now, two things can exist at the same time. Does my heart hurt for this idiot and his wife and her boyfriend? Yes. Bad. I cannot imagine a moment on this earth without my son. There are days when I drive down the road by myself and I say these things out loud to myself. Yes, I talk to myself. I'll think of something quirky or something goofy that my son has done, and I will say out loud, "Man, I love that boy." I really do this. I can't imagine the grief that I hope this father went through. Like the person in me, the human in me, wants me to think that that same kind of empathy exists in everybody. So I hope he felt that. Because if he didn't, he's a cold-blooded person. He's already showing that he's willing to do things to further his cause, to dance on his son's grave for political reasons. That's why he came here to talk. So he's already shown me a crappy side. He's morally bankrupt as it is. He is not an honorable person for what he just did. He's a scumbag. But I hope he grieved like I would grieve if I lost my son, because that at least makes me think that there's a more human side to him than what I see in this video right here. The other thing that can exist, you can dislike somebody. In other words, I can feel for this man and my heart can go out to him, and at the same time have utter disdain for him. You can feel bad for a piece of crap, and in this case I do. Those two things can happen at the same time. And I do feel for this man. I do feel for his family. I feel for the siblings who will never experience their little brother at their wedding. The grandkids he may have been able to provide to the scumbag dad. All that affects me. All that hits me right here, because I see how precious life is. But to use his son as a political pawn to go after people who he hates and then try to push that hate on somebody else, there have got to be people in this man's life who are shocked that he did what he did, because it's tasteless to try to further some new little foundation they created to make money off their dead son. Just like all these anti-gun people do it, the David Hoggs and everybody else. A tragedy happens within their life or whatever, somewhere near them, somebody related to them, in this case obviously their own child, and they use this as an opportunity not to do anything fundamentally good, but to make money. Show me the real change you intend to enact, and then show me whenever you actually make that change. Show me when you move the needle. Most of us in our lifetime don't have to exploit a tragedy to do good for other people. Most of us don't need to do that. We don't need to exploit that to get rich off of. These people are so morally bankrupt and corrupt that they are okay with taking a tragedy like this and making it sound like somebody else is the bad guy, and then they turn around and make money off of it because they created a new foundation in somebody's name. That does nothing but make cute bumper stickers and t-shirts. They don't affect any real change in the world or in the local community. They'll probably put a park bench where poor Aiden died in Springfield, Ohio, and say, "Look what my foundation did." In fact, they'll probably import more illegal Haitians in the name of Aiden, because there's that messed up in the brain. Liberalism is a mental defect. And I know some people are going to have their feelings hurt about that, and I don't care. Because this is a perfect example of how something was handled in every possible way the wrong way. This guy could have done so much more to get his message across than the way he handled it. And to use those words coming out of your mouth right off the bat without saying anything else or setting it up or anything. I wish a 60-year-old white man had killed my son. What a disgusting thing to say in your child's honor.
I don't understand the point that you're making.
God save the Queen, man.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
He's